Andre, which way are you leaning?
Smaller is better.
Yeah.
I like the episode tie-in.
Yeah.
Can't deny it.
On brand.
Okay, perfect. So, you guys know what bonobos is?
Those are
Yeah, they make
shoes?
shorts.
No.
They make pants.
Pants.
Yeah, I think now they've branched out into just like men's clothing in general, but they started out with men's pants. So their original idea was, let's let people buy perfectly sized pants from the internet. You can download their app. It's one of those first ones that you could measure your waist from the app.
And is that what you would measure it from the app and then say, great, we'll send you the perfect pair of pants. That's kind of their...
Exactly. It was like tailored to your body.
Got it.
Once that started taking off, they started going into retail, brick and mortar. And so they started moving into malls, but there's an inherent problem with malls in that they're expensive and you have to have a lot of inventory on hand. So what they did is they got the smallest units they could. Mm-hmm. They didn't keep any inventory at that location. They had just enough for people to come in and try on their pants.
And then they like ship them.
And then they would ship them directly to their home after they made the purchase, right? So it took their overhead cost at the retail location way down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smart.
So that's the basis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's think about car dealerships. Okay, they take up a ton of real estate, right?
Yeah.
Like they're anywhere from 20,000 square feet to 100,000 square feet just in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the building. The building is probably another 100,000 square feet. They're massive.
Easily.
A big problem with that is environmentally, they create what's called a heat sink, right? You have this massive black parking lot that is just super hot.
Filled with a bunch of metal black SUVs.
Yeah. And with that comes a huge overhead cost, right? You've got to pay for all this land. You've got to pay for all the maintenance. You've got to pay for utilities. You have to pay for security. You have to pay to wash all the cars. You have to repair the cars. If like a big storm comes through, there's just so many added costs onto having a big car lot. So what if we flipped it on its head, turned a car dealership into bonobos? Okay. So instead of having a giant car lot, each car dealership has maybe two of each model that they sell. Okay, in my head, they're only selling electric cars. They've got like 2 Tesla E, 2 Tesla S, 2 Tesla 3, or X. And maybe they've got like some Ford options. You know, there's new people in the electric field. They've got only 2 of each of these models.
Yeah. The black one and the white, or like the fully loaded and the not fully loaded.
And colors like don't even matter.
Yeah.
Right? Just maybe they just black or just silver, whatever, just for test driving.
Yep.
People come in, test drive the car, they say they like it, make the purchase, and within 2 days,
cars at their house.
From they have a central distribution center sent out to their house. So the benefit here is your quote retail space just shrunk down to the size of a regular office building.
Yeah.
Right? You have a regular sized car lot instead of 100,000 square feet. And then with that, your supply chain is so different because you're keeping all of your cars in one location. And if you've got 10 different dealerships, you don't have to send them to 10 locations.
No.
It's just so much easier. Okay. What are your thoughts?
I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, same, to be honest. So it's weird to me actually that like this isn't.
It's crazy.
More common
It's
thing.
like when you started talking about like, think about the problem with car dealerships. I'm like, what a dumb business that has been going on for so long. Like I feel like oftentimes I'll drive up to the whatever lot it is, the Ford lot or the Jeep lot. I'm just like, why do they need to have all of these here? This seems so dumb.
Yeah.
Because especially these days, like I recently bought a car not that long ago, and I kind of went through the whole kind of gamut of like, first I looked online, then I looked for used, and then I went to new, and then I went to this other, and I went everywhere. And even the place I bought from was like a non-new. It was like a used dealership. It was like I went there 3 times, and I finally got them the last time, right? But like the decision for me to buy it happened before I went there, I came home, I thought about it, I did some more research, and I was like, I think I'm going to go and buy this car. And I went back to buy it, right? So I would be willing to wager that most car purchases, because that's probably the one trade-off, is like, what about people just buying them off the lot? I don't think that happens as much these days. Like it does.
People just don't care that like
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you
It's
don't have
different.
to drive it off the lot. Like,
in a researched economy where it's like I go because I did the exact same thing. I just got a new car like a month ago, and really it's like going to the dealership is pointless because it's like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a Honda Accord. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go test drive the Honda Accord, and then I'm gonna buy the Honda Accord. So to me, it's like no different than it's just like I'm gonna go to this like 2-car lot. I'm
Right.
gonna test drive this car that I already am pretty sure I want. And then I'm gonna like get savings or whatever the case is because they're using less real estate. All these
Totally.
different overhead costs can come down.
well, and options. Like, I really love, when I went to the new dealership, they're like, oh, we bought a minivan. We don't have the white one here. That one's up in Sandy. You're gonna have to go over there
Yeah.
to check that one. And then you go to that one. It's like, oh, this one actually is fully loaded. If you want the one that, it's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yeah, if everyone's pulling all their cars into one, parking garage, wherever it is,
Yeah.
it's like, you know exactly what the inventory is. But yeah, you want that one? We'll just deliver it to your house.
See,
You know,
2 days.
we have every variant there, just and it's a nice temperature controlled. Like, you don't run into all
Yep.
that. You have one security guard. You know, like there's just so many obvious upsides to it, and so few downsides to it.
Well, I think like what I really see a lot of value in is being able to put like these essentially mini car dealerships in way better locations.
Yeah.
Because it's like I go downtown with my friends, we get dinner.
Totally.
It's like we're walking, out of City Creek or wherever downtown. It's like all of a sudden you pass this car dealership that's like 2 cars. They look great. They're right up front. And you're like, oh, why don't we like poke around in here, right? And it's like you can kind of get like street traffic where car dealerships currently do not get that at all because they're out in off the freeway and stuff like that.
That'd be an interesting, like as you say that. So say there's a storefront at City Creek, right? And you walk in just like you would have like a showroom,
Yeah.
and you'd see a car parked there, all the different features, a whole catalog of stuff, and like, hey, you want to take a ride? And basically they like Uber someone. They're like, yeah, they're out front. Go take a ride with this guy, and like they'll let you,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
like, and it's just like, why not? Like, you're just
Why
walking around.
wouldn't that work?
Why wouldn't that work?
Yeah.
And like they're just dropping people off and doing rides and stuff like that. Like, oh, do you want to drive it? Cool. I'll have this other one come and you can pick it up. It'll be here in 5 minutes. Go walk around the mall. Like, well, here's a little buzzer when they're out, whatever.
Yeah.
Because now you're getting into these interesting locations.
That the car dealerships are not in at all.
No.
Now, right?
Yeah, and you can make a pop-up thing almost anywhere where it's like, hey, you want to buy one of these cars? Like, here's the car. Like, well, anyway, it opens up the potential. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be interested in that. I'm trying to. I mean, the downsides are like, all right, traffic. So like, I've been to car dealerships where there's 30 people there at once.
Yeah.
So like you got to figure out.
No, I think like
But even like with that idea, if it was in a mall, right? You just go sign the list. I'm going to be, in an hour, I get to drive
and
this.
you got a buzzer.
And then you just go hang out at the mall for a
Where
while.
it's like currently the car dealership, like there's no shortage of waiting around doing nothing.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's
oh,
true.
we're gonna go check. I gotta go see what there's in the lot. Oh, let me pull it up front. Like, whatever. So if we can put this where I can like go get on the list, then go to dinner, and then come back,
automated system.
like all
easy.
the better, right?
Man, I would love it too. Imagine if they had their own little Uber client where it's like, yeah, like take this car on your next Uber, and like they can,
Oh.
like from your house, they'd come pick you up in it,
That would be crazy.
and then like I don't know, you drive or whatever, like
Yeah.
something like that where it's like you hop in and it's their service, but like hey, you want to like try it out this weekend? Like take a couple Ubers in it, like I don't know. There's a cool angle there, I think.
No,
I
love
think
this
there's
idea.
one downside to this, and that's you can only sell new cars.
Sure.
Right? You can't really do this with used cars because it's not repeatable. You can't grow that. But
But I also don't think your target is used car
Exactly.
buyers. Like I think
Yeah.
that this is really
I think it's the undercut other new car because like all of them have to deal with all that excess everything, and you're like, look, we will be cheaper than every other new car dealership
by $1,000.
by $1,000 easily.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to hire 10
we got
aggressive
2
sales
people
guys.
here. We don't have like a service desk or
Yeah,
all these random services that are available at a regular car dealership.
yeah,
Right, like your guy that stands there in the mall is also cross-trained and can do the financing. Like there's just
Yeah.
like way fewer people and way less overhead and way less real estate, and like we're gonna bring that cost down, and because of that, like we're competitive with new car buyers. Not
And actually, if you bring it down enough, you could be competitive with like a year-old used car, right?
exactly.
Do you is this something where you're pitching this to Ford and saying like you should do this? Like it seems like is this a new manufacturer you're pitching this model to, or is this I guess if you're